Ready? It's a tough angle from over here, I'm not gonna lie. All right, guys. Welcome back to 91 North, 95 South podcast. Right here in beautiful Connecticut, southeastern.
Woo! We're back!
Man, what a long time it's been.
Long time no see, folks. Who are we?
As usual, I'm Dan Drainville. This is
Max DeMeza. Sorry, Dan, I interrupted you. Got too excited.
No worries. First production in a long time, so
yes, sir.
Yeah, it might be a little bit rough. So
yeah, we're out of practice.
Yeah, but we're gonna get back into it for you guys. And we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot.
Like where we've been.
Yeah. Do you want to?
I guess I'll go first because it was mostly my fault that we stopped.
No, it was really both of us. But continue.
Well, as most of you may know, I was finishing up school at Eastern Connecticut State University. Don't go there. And this past year, my first semester wasn't like insane, but I had 5 classes and working on the weekends, so no days off really.
A lot of volunteer work.
Well, I was gonna say, and then in the second semester, I was volunteering. I had 3 volunteer programs, 5 like pretty intense classes, and also working on the weekends. So the like little free time I had was just, for me, pretty much like I just needed the mental time to, play 2K or Battlefield 4 from like 2013. But yeah, I mean, it was so crazy that the last few weeks of school coincided with, I think, the second and third rounds of the playoffs. So like I didn't even watch that. Like that's how busy I was. I wasn't even watching like any of the playoffs. I had to go back and rewatch like all of the games.
Yep, my man was getting caught up.
Yeah, like I
2
literally
weeks after this happened.
Yeah, like I literally have been catching up like on all of the series. I didn't watch the any of the Celtics series though because I don't like the Celtics.
Yeah, I didn't watch the next series.
Yeah. But anyway,
lie, I did.
So, yeah, I was just mad busy and like really couldn't put in the necessary like effort that I want to put into this podcast. So, we mutually agreed on a break, and now we're back. I graduated a couple weeks ago. Feeling pretty good, and I'm actually moving to Spain in September. So that's also going to be a transition period for the pod. We're probably going to be doing this on Zoom. But that actually leads us into a good point about the pod that we as a podcast are going to be transitioning to covering only basketball. We figured that instead of making me care about football and Dan care about baseball and hockey, that we would just care about the thing we actually enjoy.
That we both love.
Yeah, which is basketball. So we're going to be covering the NBA, the WNBA, and, when I get to Spain, we'll be covering EuroLeague as well. Maybe some college ball here and there. We're still going to be talking about those sports because we care about those other sports on some levels, some more than others, obviously. But, yeah, for the most part, we're going to be covering just basketball. Shout out the Sun. We became season ticket holders this year. It's been a lot of fun. We'll get into that later. But, yeah, we're going to be a basketball podcast. Still keeping the name. We decided we'd keep the name, I think.
After running through a couple different ideas,
we came up with some pretty good names, in my opinion.
Maybe we'll
maybe we'll do fan voting at some point.
Yeah.
But I think our producer Alon, many of the longtime listeners will know, she felt that that it would be better to keep the name. It's more unique, and we agree. So
and Alon, we trust Alon. Our
especially with internet
producer.
stuff.
Yeah,
she gets it better than us.
Yeah, so we're a couple old men yelling at the sky. So we when something gets brought up like Riz, or
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I don't like the word Riz. Where did that even come from? Is it? And
lukewarm.
Also, I don't think it comes from charisma. I think that's just made up.
I think people made that up to justify it.
Yeah,
but I'm lukewarm on it myself. I mean, I think it's a little overused at this point.
Yeah, I'm more of a game man myself.
Yeah, he got game.
Watch that movie. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to say, at least, I think.
That's all of pretty much the housekeeping side of things.
I think so, yeah.
Other than that, like, we're really stoked to be back, delivering more basketball content. And like what Max is saying, like, if there's something big that happens in another sport, like, we'll definitely keep you in the loop about it.
Yeah, and sorry, another point. I think we also want to talk about, like, other things that we enjoy outside of sports once in a while. We're both like really big movie fans and music fans as well. Mm-hmm. So we'll be talking about stuff like that, I'm sure, at points too, just because, like, it can get a little boring just like going through numbers and statistics and what's this game and da 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 da. We want to break it up with a little bit of us in there in the mix.
Yeah, and I'm sure sometimes I'm sure there's going to be points where we fall back into the numbers, like going through basketball stuff. And if that happens, just yell at us in the comments, holler at us, and just say, like,
holler at us, holler,
and just say, like, hey, you guys are being too freaking boring. Like, just this should be broken. We're always open to suggestions. But we're going to try to break some of this up with, like, some more wide-ranging topics.
And more lists. Lists are fun.
Like 200% more lists. It's twice the amount of lists.
Dude, that's a lot. That's like isn't that like quadruple? Isn't 100 times double?
100 times would be just what? Like, because we're already at
100%.
So of what we're already giving.
Oh, okay. So it's an extra 100.
Yeah, an extra.
We're giving an extra 100. Okay. Glad we cleared that up.
Yeah, amping up the lists.
Glad we cleared that up. Also, maybe I'll talk about stuff that makes me upset because I get really upset.
Oh yeah, I mean, really, the floor is open. Yeah. Open forum here. So we're sports podcast, but we're gonna talk about everything that we enjoy. So
use your blinkers, stuff like that.
Use your blinker.
Use your blinker. Charmy.
Put on your blinker.
All right, what are we talking about? I think that's it. Let's talk about stuff.
Woo! Now we get into the good stuff.
Should we talk? I know we want to talk about NBA. We didn't really talk about the order. Should we talk about actual ball before we get into the
actual ball? Yes.
Yeah, like the finals and stuff.
I thought you meant our actual ball.
Oh no, we'll get into that. Okay. We got a video coming for you guys. It's a little
teaser.
Special welcome back. We're not really sure what's going to happen with that, so we'll talk about that when it comes out.
It's been teased.
Yeah, that's a tease. That's a hard tease.
Yeah, let's get into some ball stuff. Yeah, I think we should address the big, NBA like movement first, just because it's kind of seismic.
Okay.
I want to talk about the Bradley Beal trade first. It's just I just want to get it off my chest, like right off the bat.
Okay, so we're working in a Tarantino type chronological order.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. These are multiple vignettes.
Okay.
So Max, I'm sure you've heard by now, the Washington Wizards are dealing Bradley Beal to the Phoenix Suns.
I'm listening. I just got to plug in my laptop.
Sure. So that deal is still being finalized right now. But it is still looking like. Sorry, I get distracted. Sorry,
I could tell.
I get distracted. So yeah, Wizards are dealing Bradley Beal to the Suns. All the details of that package are still being finalized, but it looks like Chris Paul is a Wizard, at least for the moment. The Wizards might turn around and try to involve another team. I've heard that return to the Clippers was thrown out there, and they did receive the Wizards did receive Landry Shamet in the deal as well, along with
Landry Shamet.
Along with 2 second-round.
Laundry.
Sorry, it doesn't say how many second-round picks. This is according to Shams Charania, but a package of future second-round picks and multiple pick swaps are also headed to Washington. So Bradley Beal then waived his no-trade clause with the Wizards in order to be sent to the Suns. And Beal's arrival comes with a $207 million contract that will carry out over the next 3 years. And that will place the Suns into this new area of the collective bargaining agreement that will bring them over a luxury tax threshold. This was just implemented by the NBA. It's like a new rule inclusion in the CBA that is designed to break up like the top talents and spread them out amongst like all the franchises in the NBA. So this comes with some pretty hefty punishments. Sorry. One of these punishments is that the team that goes into this, what's called a second apron, will have to forfeit.
Second apron.
They'll have to forfeit a mid-level exception, which is typically used to sign a player to sign one or multiple free agents to contracts above the minimum salary, even if they are above the cap. So this can really hurt a team who is already above the cap, like the Phoenix Suns are. And especially, we don't know what this team is going to look like this coming season, or certainly, the seasons after that. So basically all of this is going into the fact that, I think this is a really, it's a really tough trade to make work for the Phoenix Suns because you're relying on being able to sign players for like minimum contracts that will be good enough to, carry in that role as the supporting talent. So what did you think about the trade, Max?
Well, I didn't even know about all that when I first saw it, and I didn't really like it. I mean, I said to you before the show that, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal are a deadly, trio. But the issue wasn't really the top-level talent for them in the playoffs last year. It was the fact that they had no one after those guys in their rotation, in their lineup. So, while Shamet and whoever else ends up maybe being in this deal, while they're not big pieces, and obviously Bradley Beal is replacing Chris Paul in the lineup. So while like he's not a huge piece, he was also getting minutes in the playoffs because of how little depth they had. So, I'm going to wait to pass judgment on this until they make those moves to sign role players, because if they're unable to, fit valuable pieces into the salary cap under these new rules, then this money is not being well spent. Because if you take Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and you give them a solid lineup around them and DeAndre Ayton, that's a contender for sure. So the Bradley Beal trade, while it's good, feels unnecessary because you're paying him $50 million. And I think by the third year, it's like 57, close to 60. So like that money could be well spent in other areas. You could spend it on two $25 million guys and have really solid starting five and push everyone down a roll, something like that. Whereas, it just doesn't seem like a great allocation of funds, allocation of assets.
No, absolutely. I agree. And what Max has just mentioned kind of brings us into what should be a larger conversation, considering this new collective bargaining agreement that the NBA is rolling out, which is, the Phoenix Suns will be really the first team that is, really brutally punished by this, will be punished by these stipulations.
What about the Warriors? Aren't they pretty heavy in the luxury tax
yes, they
as
are.
well?
Yeah, they are one of the first teams mentioned. If you go and search and research these new collective bargaining agreement rules, the Warriors are one of the first teams that are pointed to, along with the Bucks, the Celtics, the Lakers, that will have to face these new handicaps. One important piece of this.
Give it to me.
One important what's like a punishment that will come from this second apron rule that could affect the Suns is
sock it to me.
You cannot sign players off the buyout market if you are in the second apron.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's interesting.
So
That's big.
If the Sun were looking to fill out their roster with some buyout players, then that is not on the table anymore.
Yeah, there's always a pretty good, at least one or two guys available. That's definitely not nothing for sure.
But just like you were saying, on the level of like these three stars being paired together, even on that level, like ignoring the surrounding talent, I'm not sure how much I would love this trade, even if there was, some better pieces around them. Bradley Beal, you're
not messing with Bradley?
No, I love Bradley. He's last season he averaged 23.2 points, 5.4 assists, 3.9 rebounds.
On pretty similar efficiency to his 30-point per game season.
Yeah, and his defense is not the best. It's not the greatest. What I'm worried about is, you're bringing another ball-dominant player into the Suns system. Yeah. Devin Booker and Durant are going to be taking up all your shots, and as they should. They're probably a cut above, the player that Bradley Beal is. But I'm just not sure that bringing in what is undoubtedly a shooting talent and, a good finisher for such a high contract.
Yeah.
It's really the contract that.
I agree the contract is definitely not great. But I think that Beal and Booker are like more combo guards than anything. I don't know. I don't feel like that worried about them sharing the court. And KD obviously
he can fit.
Yeah, he can fit anywhere.
I have no doubt that they'll be able to find a lineup where they fit those players together. But
the contract's not great.
There's gonna be growing pains for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, can we talk about the finals now?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Is Brucey B going anywhere? Hell no. Hell no. Yeah, we run this shit back. We run this shit back. Yeah, get loud. Yeah.
Wow.
Woo!
Michael Malone came in for a second.
Sorry, guys. Michael Malone made an appearance, chain and all. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. He's talking to me off camera.
Yeah. You could say, oh, went up 1-0. The Lakers figured it out. Oh, put that in your pipe and smoke it. We're going to go up 2-0. Bop, bop, bop. Yep. Nuggets won. I think that were you. I think they were your pick at the beginning of the season.
Beginning of the season, my pick would have been the Celtics, but I think out of the Western Conference, the Nuggets.
I said
I
Clippers
think I said
or
the
Nuggets. I said Clippers or Nuggets. So
yeah, Clippers.
credit.
We were both pretty high on the Clippers coming into this season.
I mean, yeah, they should have been good. They were never healthy. It's kind of hard to be good when they're not healthy. But anyway,
And
the Clippers.
Or
The Nuggets, I mean.
The
Nuggets. Not the Clippers.
Hey,
The
Mike,
Nuggets.
you forget what team you're coaching.
Sorry, dude. I'm still hammered from the parade. If you didn't watch the Denver Nuggets parade, watch the clips because they're iconic. I don't think I've ever seen a head coach that drunk. And I love it.
I don't think I've ever seen a team that drunk.
No, yeah. I saw a screenshot of Bruce Brown just covered in foam from beer he was pouring on his head. It's so funny. Jokic, where he's like, I know I said I don't want to be on Fred. I fucking love Fred.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah. I mean,
someone almost got hit Jokic's baby with a beer.
Oh, my God. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
That's rough.
That was bad.
Also, I'd like to say to everyone who was complaining about Jokic's reaction to winning the championship, what did you expect? Have you ever like watched this man? Listened to an interview?
No, they're casuals.
Bro, he doesn't even do interviews.
They're casuals. They haven't seen Jokic ball like that.
Like, he just wants to go and chill on his horse farm with his family. Like, that's all he wants. So when this man said, I did my job, I'm excited to go home, I was laughing. Like, that's exactly how I would hope he would react. Like, oh man, it was great.
It's like this. Like, if you were at your office or wherever and you were like, oh, your boss asked you to stay late to do some work, you don't want to stay late to do that work.
No.
Jokic was trying to close this case and get home.
He's trying to get that coffee, baby.
So as soon as he says anything about going home, you should have known the series was over. I mean,
yeah, the Heat put up. It was a good series for it ending in five games. All the games were pretty good except for I think maybe one might have been sort of a blowout. But I got to be honest. After the Heat won their game, I bet on the Nuggets to go win the game in five, because the Heat I just have a couple takes I want to get off my chest. The Heat played basically like their best basketball game they could in that game 2 or whatever. I think it was game 2.
that they won. Yeah.
That they won, yeah. And they had 4 guys go for double digits, I think over 14 for 4 guys, which is just unrealistic. Like, that's just not going to happen for them again in my thinking at that time. And the Nuggets probably played their worst game. So, I mean, there were like people were like, "Oh, the Heat are going to make it a series." Like, guys, just watch the games. Like, it was great, but the Heat had to play perfect basketball to win that series. It was rough, and the Jimmy Butler fourth quarter I think where he scored 13 points in like a minute and a half, and then turned the ball over twice to end the game. Twice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough. But I think he was probably a little banged up from just putting this team on his back. And Bam had an amazing finals, an amazing game 5. He looked really good.
Bam, especially on game 5, was he certainly outworking everyone else on the Heat. And
felt like every game he was just putting in like as much as he could.
Yeah, much credit to Bam. I think his shots weren't falling for a lot of the finals, but he never gave anything less than 100% effort. So
and he had to guard Jokic. So
yeah,
it's
which
no
is
small task. And Jamal Murray, I mean, the amount of times that the Nuggets just got stonewalled on offense in a possession, and with 2 seconds left, Jamal Murray step back, fade away, just ridiculous shot, 18, 19 feet away, bang, right in. I mean, the amount of times he did that, like it just takes the soul from another team where you play your best defensive possession, and then this dude hits just a ridiculous shot. Mm-hmm. He did that so many times. I think he had did he have a triple-double in the finals, or was that in the Western Conference Finals?
I don't think he did in this finals, no.
Well, he had a couple double-doubles anyway.
Yeah,
and
there was one specific point where in game 4, I'm sure if you watch the finals, this was one of the biggest moments of the finals matchup, was when in game 4, Jokic had to rest for about 5 minutes in the fourth quarter. He picked up his 5th foul, and Michael Malone had no choice but to bench him. Jamal Murray comes in, steadies the ship. First he hits a 3. Jokic is still on the bench. Then he finds Aaron Gordon for a layup off a beautiful cut, and finds Jeff Green wide open in the corner after the Heat had cut the lead to 3. And Jimmy was doing his best during this time. He picked up. No, wait, I was thinking of game 5. Sorry, something else that happened. But Jamal Murray, if you're looking for one moment where he's kind of to let you know the type of dude that Jamal Murray is, go to that game 4 when Jokic sat out, and this dude is a superstar.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what happened. I agree 100%. Yeah, and for the comeback, for his personal comeback, it was great to see. It was really great to see all those guys win. The Nugget or the Heat, while they obviously had their undrafted and second round guys, whatever. The Nuggets were themselves a bit of the island of misfit toys. You had Fat Boy Jokic getting drafted during a Taco Bell ad. You got this dude Jamal Murray coming off an ACL tear, crazy, debilitating injury, catastrophic injury. You got this random rookie from Kansas who pronounces his name funny. You got Aaron Gordon from the Magic, Mr. 50-point dunk man. I mean, there were people making memes about this guy when he changed his number to 50. MPJ, like people joking about him taking these wild shots, and he locks down and starts rebounding, blocking shots. I mean, it was a great team.
Mike was incredible.
Mike. Yeah.
Mike was incredible, man. He couldn't throw a ball in the ocean throughout this entire playoff series. And
he had a good game 5, though.
That's right. He did.
With that crazy behind the back, between the legs, in transition to split 2, bang! That was crazy.
That was something.
I had to rewind that a couple times. That was crazy.
But Mike, he's gonna be even better next year, and he played his heart out in this finals. Too.
Yeah, and go watch his interview on the Old Man in the Three, because he talks about his back and the back brace he was wearing throughout this playoffs, which no one has ever worn before in the NBA. So to hear that and then to see the gutsy performance, it was really cool. Shout out to the Nuggets, shout out to the Heat. Yeah,
a round of applause.
That's a wrap for the 2023 season.
They really showed they earned it. Yep, and they'll be back.
They're greedy bastards, of course.
Michael Malone's smiling from over there.
Mike,
you wanna?
Mike,
he's got another interview to do, but
he's got to go refill. He's got to go get another bottle.
Never seen a coach so plastered.
Bro, I wish oh my God. That just made me want the Knicks to win so badly. Like, watching those videos, I was enjoying them, and I was happy for the Nuggets fans, but man, I would be lying if I wasn't thinking about what it'd be like if the Knicks had a parade.
Well, the day that the Knicks win and have their parade, it's...
Dude,
if you think the Nuggets was something.
New York is going to shut down. New York will be shut down.
Now, that may be 2085, but...
Bro, I may be having a walker. I'll be at the parade. I'll be in my wheelchair getting yammered. Smoking blunts for 48 hours like Kevin Garnett. Big ticket.
It's certified.
I thought this was big ticket. You're just Kevin. You're just Kevin right
after
now.
This.
Carbones after this. Carbones after this. Carbones after this.
Yes.
Okay. Carbones after this. Okay.
All right. Should we just make sure this is recording now?
I think it's good.
I think the light would go off.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
We're good.
Thank God. I am so scared. My phone overheats. I don't know.
Oh man. All right. Should we get into our serious topic?
I forgot what our serious topic was.
Ja.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I have a take I didn't tell you about that I don't know if you're going to be surprised.
Hit me with it.
Okay. So I've been thinking about how I want to say this a lot. I'm not going to lie. Because I do, I would hope for Ja himself that his decisions would change, because over the course of this season there were things that are not good ideas to do. Altercations with minors, unnecessary potential altercations at Walmart, I think, or some shopping store, some store. Pointing red dots at Pacers staff cars. These things that all led up to him flashing guns on IG Live. But without the release of the investigation by the NBA, the 25 games and just the statement and the whole vibe of the suspension, it feels very much like just not a good look for the league. It feels very much like kind of like the Kyrie thing last season, where after the after him tweeting the anti-Semitic video. You know, another action I disagree with. But then the Nets come out and they make this list of things that he has to do to prove his understanding. Like this, it just feels weird to have this white league telling this, you know, black man that he's like acting irresponsibly and all of this stuff. Like, I don't know. It just had a weird optic for me.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
No, I understand where you're coming from completely. Yeah, you know, I think that, like you said, the NBA should, you know, release that report and give us like details of what specifically, you know, they were looking at when they gave this, you know, suspension. And this is not, I'm certainly not, you know, of the mindset that we should be letting Ja off the hook for any of these things that he's done. I know it was,
and I hope I'm understood that I'm not saying that either.
Yeah, I didn't think you were trying to.
Wait, can I just say something? So I had this thought, but I read a tweet that I think summed my thoughts up perfectly. This dude replied to the NBA statement, and it said, "Sounds like a bunch of 'I'm white and I say so.'" That's kind of what I'm trying to get at. Like, that's the vibe that I'm getting.
And this was in reaction to what?
To the NBA statement, NBA communications statement from the NBA.
Could you read a bit of the statement? Because I don't think I looked at this.
Okay.
Whatever this page is.
I could run through most of it. Okay, so the NBA announced today that Memphis Grizzlies guard Ja Morant has been suspended 25 games without pay for conduct detrimental to the league. Morant posed with a firearm in a car during a live stream video on May 13th, less than 2 months after he was suspended 8 games without pay for the live streaming of a video on March 4th in which he displayed a firearm while in an intoxicated state at a Denver area nightclub. The league office found that on May 13th, Morant intentionally and prominently displayed a gun while in a car with several other individuals as they were leaving a social gathering in Memphis. Morant wielded the firearm. That's crazy. While knowing that he was being recorded and that the recording was being live streamed on Instagram Live, despite having made commitments to the NBA and public statements that he would not repeat the conduct for which he was previously disciplined. On May 16th, Morant issued a statement taking full accountability for his actions. You want me to keep going?
Well, no, I think I get the gist.
So, yeah, I don't really... I think the I'm white and I say so tweet, I think that kind of sums up the vibe. I don't know. That might just be me and that guy. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there are other people, of course, but
I just don't know. Is it like in reaction to, because this is the first time I'm hearing about this, or you know, and reading this document. So is it like in response to the suspension itself, like the length of it, the 25 games, or is it more so that they won't, you know, they're saying you should reflect on what you did, make a list, and go through these programs?
Yeah, it's kind of just, yeah, it's almost like I mean, I feel like
because this is a way that I hadn't thought about it before, but from what you're like, I do understand.
It's hard for me to verbalize it. But it's almost like an infantilization kind of vibe where it's like, you know, we know best. Like,
yeah,
you know.
No, I understand. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this goes back to like, I mean, what you're saying about like, this doesn't have a good look to it. Like this, I mean, these things sometimes come back to for me, like the fact that like, you know, like the same look as like all the white owners in the NBA that are like, you know, control what the players, you know, do. And That's really it. I mean,
I also think that maybe if they laid out the other points that have led to this too, because I feel like it's not just the gun. Like, I feel like if a player was in a car and flashed a gun in an Instagram video, in an Instagram live video, I feel like they'd get a fine, maybe like a game or two. You know, I don't think they are getting 8 games for just flashing a gun. So that's where, like, it's not like the punishment doesn't really fit the crime, in my opinion.
I understand.
If that's what they're saying, like,
yeah.
If you lay out the timeline, like, oh, he threatened a 17-year-old, he was flashing red dots, he was in altercations with his mother, like, in protection of his mother. If you list the things that he's been involved with and show that the other, and also the way Adam Silver laid it out, it sounded like they found like a crazy discovery during the investigation.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
This does not line up with him saying, well, we found a lot and, we don't want to distract from the finals. We're going to release it after, it's going to be it's going to be big, basically, is what he was saying. And then it's just, oh, yeah, he had a gun on an Instagram live video. Like, yeah, we already knew that. So it's just weird. Like, this whole thing is weird. It's giving weird vibes. Doesn't make sense.
Something doesn't fit. Quite add up.
Yeah, there's something going on here.
Ja is suspended. What is it? 25 games. Yeah, and I think he's gonna lose something like, what is it? Like 80.
A lot. They were saying a lot of. I think it's like $7 million of his contract.
I was hearing about $8 million of his contract.
Yeah, and then like obviously incentives for all NBA, etc., which he won't be allowed to be included in the voting because of the 25 games. That's what I mean. It's not even double his suspension. It's the same thing. So shouldn't it just be double the suspension if you're suspending him for the same thing?
Yeah.
Why are you giving him 25 games and discounting it? If you give him 60, he'd still be included in the voting.
Yeah. And that's big for a player like Ja. I
don't know. I don't want to speculate.
No,
I'm trying not to speculate, but there is something that doesn't feel right, and there's something that doesn't fit.
I will agree with you on that front. It certainly seems like, it's a weird situation. Adam Silver, like, the NBA wanted Ja Morant to become like a face of the league. And Ja, growing into this role as what would be a face of the league, which was kind of handed out, it seems like Adam Silver, when he met with him the first time, and they made him do that interview with Jalen Rose and, do the the recovery stuff, like the program that he didn't listen to. But it seems like Adam Silver offered this to him and said he made it personal between him and Ja.
You think this is personal?
I think that's what it seems like to me.
Allegedly.
Now, whether or not that is a white man offering this olive branch, this lifeline out to Ja.
That's what I'm saying. It just has a weird vibe.
Yeah.
Weird optics.
And, and then Ja crossing him again, and now Adam Silver bringing down a hammer, this is a big suspension. There's a lot at stake here.
It's over a quarter of the season.
Yes, I think it's around a third of the season.
Yeah, probably
30%.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate on that too much, but
and the last thing I'll say is that Gilbert Arenas spoke on this a few weeks, I don't know exactly when, but on his podcast about his 50-game suspension for, I think at what the time was said, it was the gun situation in Washington. I believe it was Washington. Yeah, I think it was Washington. And that's not the case. He said David Stern called him into his office and said, either you take this suspension or I'm coming for your contract. Like it was a thing behind the scenes that nobody knew about. So if that is how that played out, there's no reason in my mind that I wouldn't think that there might be something behind the scenes that we don't know about. Right. And again, I'm not going to speculate, but this does not, from this statement, it doesn't fit. Something doesn't fit.
It's still early. I think if something like that did happen behind the scenes, it seems like there would be a good chance that it does come to light at some point.
Let's hope.
Either through some kind of rumor or something like that. But
yeah, I think we're getting dangerously close into speculation.
Yeah.
And also, I've heard people talking about Ja having a potential substance use disorder. Let's not say that.
That doesn't have anything to do with this.
Also, who knows?
Yeah.
Do you know Ja Morant?
Where have you heard that?
I don't think we should say that. If you think because somebody downs a lot of alcohol, Michael Malone has a drinking problem. Bruce Brown has a drinking problem.
Right.
Christian Brown has a drinking problem. Like, okay, yeah, they drank a lot of alcohol. They're high performing professional athletes. I wouldn't be surprised if alcohol might affect them differently. Their metabolism. I don't know. Let's just not speculate on people's substance use disorders. Crazy thought. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. Is it W time? I think that's all the NBA stuff.
It's W time.
W! Sun forged in fire! Woo!
That was awesome.
Yes. You're looking at
Forged by fire, baby.
2/3 of the conglomerate, season ticket holders, been to every home game, every single one. Count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't even know. We've been.
There's been at least 5.
Yes, sir. We saw DB drop 41. Did you? No.
Funny story about DB dropping 41. So,
Facts.
So for you guys, how do I even give an introduction to this? We are known as the conglomerate. Max, me, and our friend Liam. Shout out to Liam. One of us has attended every Sun game. So for this particular game, on June 8th, I think, where the Sun faced off against the Las Vegas Aces. We were all in attendance. We're getting ready to go, whatever. Getting our cars to go to Mohegan Sun, where the Sun play their home game.
Uncasville, baby!
Sorry. No worries. It deserves the respect. Uncasville, also like about 15 minutes from my childhood home.
Bro loves giving out his address.
Well, they're not going to find it.
That's what you think.
Anyways, we're leaving. We're getting ready to leave, and we walk out the door, and I'm like, DB. I mean, I don't think I said DB. I said Bonner's dropping 40 tonight.
I
don't know why.
Just randomly. He just said Bonner's dropping 40 tonight. I was like, you ready? He's like, yeah, Bonner's dropping 40 tonight.
And I said before the game, if you ever watch that LeBron clip of him saying, I said before the game, Kobe
Except this actually happened.
It actually happened.
Dude, this actually happened.
we're at the game, and we're just looking up at the scoreboard where they got all the player names with how points, rebounds, assists, and Joanna Bonner, that number under points just keeps ticking up and up. It's getting into the 30s now, and man, when she broke 40, I was like out of my mind. Like I should have bought a lottery ticket or
for real bet the over. Oh man, yeah, that was a fun game. I sat
that was a lot of fun.
Second row that game. That was sick. Yeah, we'll post some videos at some point, I'm sure. We'll post a little edit.
We got a lot of videos.
Yeah.
And that was a good game. But anyways, let's get into the Suns season so far because we haven't caught up on that. I got some notes here if you want me to get us started.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I wanted to research the Jonquel Jones trade a little bit more. I forgot to do that.
We can get it next episode.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next episode.
That is definitely something that I think we should talk about.
Yeah, it still doesn't make sense.
The Sun, they have a 9-3 record so far. As of we're recording this on June 19th. Sure.
Second in the league.
Juneteenth.
Oh yeah, happy Juneteenth. Yeah.
Yep.
Happy Juneteenth.
And so 9-3 record so far. Alyssa Thomas. I mean, where do you want to start? I'm just gonna get into the players, but
I wanted to say because before the season, while I didn't think they were gonna be a bad team, I thought they were gonna take a step back for sure and be in kind of a retooling mode. Mm-hmm. And they have far and away just blown by my expectations. Bonner, Alyssa, and Breezy are just the big three from hell. I mean, nobody wants to go against them. No. Big bodies in the paint, and DB just I love her game. She's so crazy. Sweet. She had a deep 3 or 2 last night. Crazy. So nice.
Yeah, the expectations were completely different from what we're seeing right now, huh? Because you give up Jonquel Jones, former MVP of the league, and
easily top 5 player in the league.
Yeah, and all of a sudden we get this Ewing effect where we're pretty much at the same point where we left off.
Yeah, I mean they've found a way to moneyball it, and they've gotten the production from other areas that has equaled what they've been. And I also think the coaching change has played a big part as well. I like Coach White's offense a lot better. Better than Kurt Miller's. Kurt was big into the triangle, and I feel like there was not a lot of off ball movement. It felt very stagnant at points, and it felt like that was the crippling point, or the critical point of their failures in the playoffs, was that their offense was so heavily predicated on transition offense, and once they get into the half court, they just had such a hard time producing. Mm-hmm. I feel like they're getting a lot better looks this year, a lot more movement, more heavy on the perimeter so they can drive and kick. Just a more modern offense. It feels like it's moving a lot better. And they're still definitely super reliant on transition ball. They're one of the top teams in the league in steals per game.
Reliant on their defense.
Their defense is huge.
It's incredible.
They're such a good defensive team, very defensively responsible, and a lot of dogs. A lot of dogs on the team. So they're able to grit and grind games, and they're really I feel like a versatile team. You know, they have people that can punish you in the post, and also wings and guards that can space out the floor and hurt you from the perimeter as well.
Yeah, I agree. They have looked incredible so far. I know giving up Jonquel Jones, it can hurt you at some point. I know they're riding high right now, but certainly having a a bucket getter like that on your team when you get down in those stretches where it's like crunch time, that can certainly be helpful. But like Max said, there's a lot of dogs on this team, a lot of heart certainly, and for right now, I don't see the Sun going anywhere. I think easily going to be a playoff, if not title contender. But right now it's the two big talents at the top.
If you go on DraftKings and look at the futures bets for the W, there's a bet for Las Vegas or Liberty to win the championship or the Field. Like, they're just on a different level than the other teams. So if there's another team that wins, it's going to be an upset. That's
the best. Yeah, it's really the best you can hope for at this point, barring like some player injury or like something like that.
And you don't want to hope for that.
Yeah. But out of those teams right now, the Sun have looked the best out of everyone else.
I mean, the Aces have one loss on the season. Who's that from?
We did that.
The Sun. So,
we did do that. Yeah.
It is, and they're not unbeatable. They're an insane team. But, I guess you can be happy that the Liberty are still struggling to find their chemistry. Mm-hmm. So they're still kind of on planet Earth for now, but throughout the season, I feel like that's going to change. And at a certain point, I feel like the Aces and the Liberty are just going to separate themselves completely. And that's not saying the Sun aren't going to be good. The Sun aren't going to have a good record, but like statistically, I feel like the Aces and the Liberty will just be a head above everyone else. Just because they literally have 5 All-Stars on both teams as their starting 5. Like, it's ridiculous. And a couple MVPs on both teams. Like, that's it. This teams are ridiculous. So crazy. There's something else I wanted to say. Oh, yeah, we didn't even mention Tiffany Hayes. I mean, that was a great pickup for the Sun in the offseason.
Yeah, she's looked great.
She's been finding her way and had some struggles early on the first few games, but has really picked up since, found her spot. And, for her to be your third, fourth option on some nights, that's a great thing to have. And Natisha Heidemann has continued her progression as a ball handler. She's looking really good. Her vision is looking really good. Her playmaking. She just looks really solid. Her and Tip sharing the ball, kind of being 2 combo guards, sharing point guard duties. And then Taisha Harris, a great backup point guard, stabilizing, good pick and roll ball handler, good midi game.
Nelson Odota off the bench.
Oh no. She's looked really good. Great defender. Very athletic, long, able to move her feet well. Rebecca Allen, long defender. Really like the length that the bench has and the tenacity with Dijonay.
Yeah, you're right. They're a versatile team.
Yeah, no, they have a really good lineup, which I didn't mention, but this brings me to my a small point I'd like to make about roster sizes in the W. Those need to be increased because you have the what was Alexis Morris 14th pick in the draft for the Sun?
Oh,
15th?
I don't know.
Some mid-round, first-round pick. Alexis Morris, she's not on the Sun due to roster cuts. Nia Clouden, player that had to be waived for some roster moves, couldn't be picked up again. A lot of teams are having this issue, and it leads fans to blaming veterans. I've seen that a lot. Even Alexis Morris famously calling out the veterans to hang up their shoes. But that's not the place you want to point your anger. You should, be upset with the league and these roster sizes.
Yep.
You should have space for draft picks. The fact that draft picks are being cut as soon as they're getting
mid
picked.
first round draft picks.
Yeah, like that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. These are people that are going to be valuable assets in the future, and by rejecting them, by excluding them from the W, you're really losing out on these talents.
Where you win there is if you're a team that can consolidate assets to send for like a really high tier player, then if you can go into like the free agency pool and just scoop up one of these like mid round draft picks to fill out your bench, then that's a good spot to be in.
Yeah. It needs to be changed. I hope something happens. I mean, there's a lot of things we can get into throughout the season that needs to be fixed in the W. But I mean, it's a great season so far. You just saw Arike Agumbawale and Jewel Lloyd battle it out, dropping 39 and 41 and 39 respectively.
Jewel's on a tear, huh?
That was ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, the W is strong for sure.
A lot of fun players to watch right now.
For sure. Yeah, and let us know if you want some like interview videos when we go to the Sun games. I don't know, we could get some fan interviews, fan stuff.
The last game I was at, I was thinking they versus the Dream, last home game they played. They showed the Sun. What I think was the Sun's oldest season ticket holder.
Oh, it's a good interview.
Went over and interviewed her. That would be awesome.
It's a good interview.
That would be awesome. Since 2003, she's been there.
Wow. Shout out.
So,
yeah.
It's not a tease, but I'm just hoping.
I'm trying to think what else, what other W stuff I want to talk about. John Quell, why you got a ring chase? What the heck, man?
Gave you plenty of room to answer that question.
Third time's the charm? Like, you don't want to run it back?
What we could have had.
I'm just saying, I hope we beat you in the playoffs. I'm going to get up for the Liberty game. I'm just saying, I can't wait for the 27th. We'll be there. We'll be there, dog.
We'll be loud.
We'll be loud, rooting for the Sun, dude. Come on. Come on.
Loud.
Come on. I'm still upset. Ring chasing, bro.
You don't want to hear how loud we're going to be. But
loud. My man. Loud.
And you're going to, that's what you're missing.
Yeah, we could have been John, JJ, John, oh my God. Nope. We're going to say boo. Boo. Nope. Boo. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Real quick. I just wanted to mention a couple other NBA stuff. Draymond Green hitting free agency. It's pretty interesting. I kind of thought he'd retire as a Warrior.
You thought he was going to retire?
As a Warrior. I mean, I don't think he's going to retire yet, but I think he would have. I thought he would have retired as a Warrior. So we'll see if there's another team that will pick him up.
It's surprising.
I mean, no one really uses him like I feel like the Warriors can use him, like with all the off-ball movement that Steph does and able to make almost any shot from beyond the three-point line. Draymond Green is awesome at setting those little screens for him. So
maybe he'll go to the Lakers.
I could see it. I could see that something like that happening. Yeah. That's really it.
Nothing else?
I mean, Zion Williamson might get traded.
I just bought a Zion Williamson Pelicans jersey for $10. Buying low.
Dude, if he gets traded to the Knicks, imagine how early you bought in on that stock.
I know.
You're like, I was the first Zion Williamson Knicks fan.
Facts. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be pretty torn if they trade for him. I'm just scared.
Give up Randall.
Yeah, I'm scared. Like, obviously Zion is a generational talent,
Right?
But he's yet to play 50 games twice.
Has he played a full season yet?
No, I think he played 60 games.
Oh,
one
yeah.
year.
Yeah, you're right.
It was like his second year, his rookie. No, second year, I think. Yeah, and so that's the thing. Like, Zion worries me. Also, I've been hearing, I don't know how, like, legitimate. This is from, like, New York sports talk radio, so, like, take this with a grain of salt, but Karl Anthony Towns to the Knicks? Please no. Please no. I don't want to watch that. With all due respect, Kat, I don't want to watch that. This man, how do I put this politely? This man is as soft as, I mean, I don't want to swear, but this man's as soft as baby shit. I mean, like,
I knew it was coming.
It's like this man's fucking 10-ply. I don't know what to say. Softer than a 5,000 thread count sheet. I don't know. Softer than some satin. Softer than silk.
My mind is blanking.
Softer than some feathery pillows, my man.
I can't even think of a single soft thing right now.
Softer than, I'm not going to say it, but
Why you not?
Softer than that. I don't want to watch that.
You got a lot of soft things stored in that little head of yours.
Softer than pudding.
Not gonna watch it?
No, I don't want to watch that.
You wouldn't even watch. Just out of more.
I'd watch it. I'd have to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it.
If Cat went to the Celtics, I would watch.
And I'm gonna get hype. I'm gonna get hype for the tough turnarounds, the threes. But bro, he's so soft. He can't do it. He's not and the Knicks need a superstar.
I'm sorry.
So you're just gonna put a number like 3 Bro is a number 3 option on a championship level team.
I'm sorry, but you think Randall didn't take that criticism well when he went and turned around and booed the fans?
God, Dan.
You think Karl Anthony Towns, he's going to be requesting a trade in the first 10 days of his new contract?
Yes. Yes. If a man like Karl Anthony Towns is going on podcasts talking about how, you know, when kids remember me and they say I changed the game, I'll be appreciative. When that man is talking like that, tries to go to New York, oh my God, you better be MVP of the league, because the second you get booze, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You're so right. You're so right. And I don't like it. I think that's an issue that New York fans in general should probably work on, because there's a lot of players that dislike the would never play for the Knicks or would never play for the Yankees because of the fans. I mean, Richard Jefferson. Yeah. He's literally said that. Like, there's literally proof that it affects some players in how much they want to go to your team.
New York's a tough market, man.
Yeah, and I love that about New York. But also, guys, come on. I mean,
it's a big market, but you know the fans like you and other Knicks fans, like, you just care.
I don't boo the players though.
No,
that's the thing.
That, but there's still like collectively a lot of pressure on
for sure
on those athletes compared to like Minnesota.
Yeah, no, it is a lot more eyeballs. But like the vitriol that I mean, every time Aaron Hicks's name got announced at Yankee Stadium, boos would rain down. Like, it's rough, dude. It's rough. Dude. And I love the hard New York fan, but it's sometimes we got to relax. And I wonder if it's gotten worse since COVID, because People be going crazy since COVID, I feel like. But that's a discussion for another day.
Kat thinks he's Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Bro,
Kat thinks
I
he's
get
Dirk.
it. You're the best shooter, big man of all time, probably. You didn't change the game. Zydrunas changed the game.
I know. He's acting like he's the only center to ever take threes.
Yeah.
Also, bro, you're not a center. Like, he's literally just a stretch four at this point. Who's okay? Dude. Oh my God, this power forward can take jump shots. Oh my God.
I don't even want to be too mean, but like,
no, I don't care.
Anyone in like 20 years is going to be like, I modeled my game after Kat. Like,
any successful NBA player? No. Any NBA player with a championship ring on his finger? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I do think he deserves to be put on blast for those comments.
It's ridiculous. Change the game? My God, because you won a 3-point contest? We knew big men could shoot. Thanks. Okay, thanks. Yeah. I don't know if you ever heard Dirk. Like,
it's not like we were in it was like early 2010s, and we're like, oh, like maybe someone suggests maybe big man can start shooting threes, and then the coaches are like, I don't know.
Wait, Dan. Oh my God, I heard the best thing. It was on the Michael K show. And they're talking about this, and Michael K goes, why? Because he takes threes? Brooke Lopez takes threes. I was like, exactly. Are we going to be saying Brooke Lopez changed the game? No.
No one's saying that.
No.
Brooke Lopez wouldn't say that.
Brooke Lopez would probably slap Kat in the mouth if you heard him saying that. Say, my guy. Oh, my God. Yeah, that made me upset. And I didn't watch it, but you said he said his play-in run was iconic. Dude, that's upsetting.
Him and Pat Bev said that.
If you think it's iconic?
They agreed. It was more iconic than the Nuggets finals run. And championship. That ended in a championship.
Yeah.
The first Nuggets championship in history.
The first time they made it to the finals in the NBA.
You won one play-in game?
Yeah. You got bounced.
Dude, that makes me so mad.
You got bounced like a Tom Brady football.
What a Timberwolves. We need a Timberwolves.
It wouldn't bounce well if it was a Tom Brady football.
Oh, yeah. Sorry,
it wasn't inflate.
I glazed over what you said.
It was deflate gate. Dude, yeah, no, that was ridiculous.
I just want to know what a Timberwolves fan thinks about that. Because I'd be pissed.
I'd be embarrassed.
I'd be pretty pissed. I'm not gonna lie.
I'd be embarrassed. Yeah, I'd be demanding this man to be traded.
Yeah,
I don't want him on my team if he's saying a play-in run was iconic. What is a play-in run? What is a play-in run?
Play-in run?
What is a play-in run? What is a run?
You're so right.
The play-in.
You're so right.
You won one game? That's not a run. A play-in run? I just realized that.
Bro.
What is that?
Didn't they lose the first play-in game and they won in the console? No.
Pat Bev was crying because he won a play-in game.
They won in the consolation play-in game. Like, dude, a run, you're absolutely right.
A play-in run.
It hurts my head. What's the run? You lose the first game and win the second one?
What is a run?
And then...
I don't know what a run is.
Dude, a run is if it's when Pat Bev takes his shirt off and swings it around. That's what a run is.
A run is when when Pat Bev says it's a run.
At least we got one
I respect that answer, honestly. That's the only answer that makes any sense.
They should come out and explain that that's what they meant.
No,
that's the only thing that could.
I really need an explanation because I didn't think of that until just now. But what?
At least we got one of the greatest NBA memes of all time from that, which is Pat Bev standing on the scorer's table and swinging his shirt around.
Bro, it's wild that a team went 1-5, and they said their run was better than a team that went 4 times 16-4.
Yeah,
that's you guys got to get your priorities checked.
Speaks for itself.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild, bro. Literally any, I gotta stop talking about this.
Iconic.
This is upsetting.
That's iconic.
Dude,
that's just iconic.
Genuinely upsetting.
It's just iconic, is what it is. You wouldn't understand.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's just the most iconic.
I'm not gonna lie. I like Pat as a player a little less now. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, Pat's always been like real to me. Like he's been like an honest
I know.
guy and like to
What's
hear him
he
say
doing?
Something like that, it's like, yeah, how does it not?
That doesn't sound like Pat Bev.
Yeah.
He's like always been, every team I've gone to has made the playoffs, like blah, 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 like wants to win. Dude, you're saying a play-in run? Come on. Come back to me, Pat. Come back to me. Man. No, that's genuinely upsetting. That hurts my head.
If you're a Wolves fan, you're like, cool. Oh, thanks, guys. Like, yeah, that was an iconic run. That was the top. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go be a fan of another franchise now.
Right. That's the mountaintop I have to look out for. Like, okay, I'm good, guys.
We peaked there?
We peaked.
Are you sure?
Okay. All right. So we're the Minnesota Uncle Ricos now. Throw that ball a country mile, baby.
Cat threw that ball a country mile.
Throw that thing over the mountains. Oh my God, dude. Oh, man. We made a few good references today. We got to up the references, though. I'm going to need 15 references each.
Okay. I'll come with way more references next time.
Just thinking of a bunch of references I could shoehorn in right now.
Oh, what about
Make a meme
unbearable weight of
Caucasian.
massive talent?
Oh, yeah. Nick fucking Cage! Yeah! Whew. I wish I had the breath control that
That
man
scene
has.
was Michael Malone.
No, yeah, literally. That's what you can have to look out for from us from here on out. A lot of Max screaming and Dan probably being scared because why is this man screaming right next to me? All right. 91 North, 95 South. Look at the painting. Look at it. Thanks, Margot.
Thank you. My beautiful girlfriend painted this for us.
Finally took it out of the car, out of the cat.
Yeah.
It's been like a year. It's just sitting there.
Well, I was waiting. I was waiting for this moment.
I had to leave it in the car. It's the safest place.
And
Anyone who
finally,
knows Dan's cars knows that it's not the safest place.
now maybe it is. Now it's a lot better.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
I said, now here she is.
Yeah.
All her glory.
It looks great.
Untarnished.
She did great. All right. I'm clearly out of practice with my intros, but I'll be getting on a roll. That's Stan Drainville. I'm Max Nemeza. Check us out on all the social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit. I don't remember what we signed up for, but we got to get the passwords back because I think we forgot the passwords and someone might have the passwords. So we gotta go get those passwords. Yeah, follow us on all those social medias. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I don't know what else. Yeah, dude, just do stuff. Comment who your favorite person is.
I have the passwords.
Oh, Dan has the passwords. Let's go. You hacked us?
I hacked you.
Oh my God. All right. Well, I gotta go beat him up. I got the belt somewhere. But that's it from us.
The belt.
He took the belt too. I can't do anything. I can't do anything. Okay, that's it. 91 North. We're back. 91 South. 91 North. 95 South. We're back.